Hello my dear students, welcome to SR ICSC English tutorial. Today I will be explaining you line by line ISC poem Beethoven by Shane Koezen. Now, to begin with, first you have to know who is Beethoven. Beethoven was a German pianist and composer. Many of you are aware of his piano music and all. So those who know, he is a famous pianist, so there is no other introduction needed for him. Now in this poem, the poet has talked about his life from childhood to adulthood, how he became a famous composer. The poem begins with the word listen. Why listen? Because the best thing to know this man is to listen to his music in order to understand his greatness. That is why he starts with listen. Now, then he talks about his childhood. Beethoven's childhood was not an easy one. His father made a habit out of hitting him. Hitting him means beating him. His father used to beat him. See, some men drink, some men yell, some men hit their children. This man did it all. This man, his father. So some people they drink to take out their frustration. Some people they yell at their family members and friends. They shout at them to bring out their frustration. Now, Beethoven's father brought out his frustration on him by beating, by hitting his child. Hitting, beating, that is Beethoven. This man did it all because I guess all men want their boys to be geniuses. So he wanted Beethoven to become genius, to become successful in life, to do something better, to do something extraordinary. Now, this is not a reason to beat a child. He wanted Beethoven to be famous so that he can earn more money. Beethoven, little boy, living in a house where a name meant nothing. So he lived as a little boy, okay, it is his childhood, lived in a house where name meant nothing. Your name is nothing until and unless it becomes famous. Until and unless your name is famous and you earn enough money, your good name, okay, your good name has no value. Living in a house where mercy had to be earned. Mercy had to be earned means it is not given free. Parents generally are merciful towards their children. But in this house, mercy did not came as a blessing to the children through each perfect note tumbling. Each perfect note, that is when he composed. So that when falling down, tumbling means falling down. Up through the roof to tickle the toes of angels whose harp couldn't hold half the passion that was held in the hands of a young boy who was hard of hearing. So here in these lines, the poet wants to say that right from the childhood he used to compose song. He used to play the piano in the notes on the piano. Now, that notes or that composition has to be so perfect that it should appear. Each notes are falling from the roof, and that is touching the feet of the angels. That is, the tickle the toes of angels means angels are pleased. Angels should be pleased that Beethoven's composition, Beethoven's music should be so touching that it should touch the heart of the angels, whose harp means the angels' instrument, could not hold half of the passion, strong feelings. Even the angels' music, they failed to hold the strong feelings that was gifted. He was a God gifted. He had that power in the hands of a young boy. Young boy, that is Beethoven as a small boy, was hard of hearing. Hard of hearing, he had difficulty in hearing right from his childhood. Hard of hearing does not mean deaf. Beethoven became totally deaf, though it's very true that he became deaf, but not at this age, not in childhood. He became deaf at the means when he became, I think, 22, 21 or late after that. Okay. So he, right now in the childhood, he was hard of hearing. Hard of hearing means he had difficulty, means almost 80% he could not hear. Beethoven, who next, Beethoven who heard his father's anthem. What is the meaning of anthem? Why this word has been used? Who heard his father's anthem every time he put his finger to the ivory. Ivory means the piano reeds. It is not good enough. It is not good enough. These are the comment that his father passed. So he played slowly, slowly with patience. No, not good enough. Again, his father passed this comment that no, your music is not creating any effect. It is not good. So he played softly. He tried again. Not good enough. Not good enough. Again, his father said it is not creating any effect. So he played strongly. So he played the piano strongly. Now here it is said that who heard his father's anthem. Anthem means words did not change. That is why it is called an anthem. You can change, you can bit change this and that music, but anthem cannot be changed. So his father's words or comments or remarks were like anthem. It was same throughout. What was that? Not good enough. This is what he always said when he heard his son playing piano. And when he could play no more, when his finger cramped up, because after playing for so long, he felt pain in his finger joints. And then cramped up means ached. He had aches. Into the gnarled roots, gnarled means twisted roots of the tree trunks, it was not good enough. Not good enough, his father shouted. The last line that is not good enough, it is shouting. Then Beethoven, a musician, without his most precious tool, that is ear drums. When you are a composer, when you are dealing with music, the most important organ, the most important sense organ that you have to use is your ears. From ears, it will go to brain where it will process. So the first step is to hear. You have to hear it. That was only wounded. That was only not working. Could no longer pound out rhythms. Rhythms means produce. As he grew up, his eardrums were given away, and at the age of 40-45 he was absolutely deaf. So slowly what happened, he could not produce that rhythm for the symphony. Symphonies means composition. Symphonies, that is playing in his mind. So whatever tune that came to his mind, he could play on the piano, but he cannot hear it. That is the main problem he had. He could not hear what he is producing, what he is composing, the symphonies. Then he could not hear the audience's clapping. So this is what he missed. He missed the attention. He missed the symphony, the music, the beautiful music that he produced, he himself could not hear. He could not hear the applaud. The cheer means audience cheering him, clapping for him. Could not hear people loving him. Could not hear people speaking loving words. Okay, appreciating words for him. Couldn't hear people loving him. Couldn't hear women in the front row whispering Beethoven. That means women were crazy. They were crazy fans. So, but Beethoven could not, never realized. He did not get a chance to enjoy his fame. As they let the music invade, as they let the music, they refer to the audience, as they let the music invade their nervous system. So, invade means conquer. His music conquered their nervous system. Nervous system means the nerves, right? Their brain starting, nervous system is the main system of our body. So their nervous system is affected. It shows the intensity, the effect of his music. And it is compared, his music has been compared like an armada marching through fire cannonballs, denoting every molecule in the to their body into explosion of heavenly sensation. So as armada, armada is a large ship, it's a fleet of warship. Okay, so Beethoven's music has been compared to armada, that's a large warship. When it is marching through fire cannonballs, the enemies are firing cannonballs and the armada is so powerful ship, it is just going through that. And so similarly, Beethoven's music is just like armada that is traveling through the nervous system and making the body explode, as the music is having that exploding effect. Every molecule in their body, the audience's body, that is exploding, an exploding of divine sensation and producing a divine, a heavenly effect. That is producing a heavenly, as the audience is experiencing heaven in the music of, this is the effect of Beethoven's music. Each note leaving track mark over every inch of that body, making them ache for. Ache here means is pain, pain of yearning, wanting for more. Here ache is pain, pain is that not any body pain. It is they want to, they cannot stop hearing Beethoven. They want him to go on and on and on. One more hit music. Okay. So each note that he played, leaving tracking marks in every inch of their body, not only their ear or their brain, but every part of the body is leaving a sign, leaving a track mark, and it is aching. Aching for what? They are yearning. They want to hear one more hit. He was an addiction. He was an addiction for audience. So it was this music, that kind of music, it goes to that level when audience does not want you to go down the stage. They want you to go on and on, play the piano on and on. Now then it is said that and kings and queens, it didn't matter. The man got down on his knees for no one. Now here it gives a side of Beethoven's character, that he was a bit egoist, you can say, or he had a great self-esteem. He never bowed down in front of kings or queens, however important or royal the person may be, however rich, aristocratic, royal the person may be a king or queen, but he never bowed down or got down on his knees in front of them, but amputated the legs of his piano. He is a pianist who played piano. So what he did, he cut down the legs of his piano, amputated the legs of his piano so he could feel the vibration through the floor. So what he did, how he composed music, he just cut the long legs of the piano and the piano was placed on the floor. Whenever he played the piano, it produced a vibration that he felt on the floor. And then through the floor, the man got down on his knees for music, and then he bent down in front of piano, bent down on the floor. His knees touched the floor to feel that vibration. Now only for music he bent on his knees, not in front of any big people, any big person. And when the orchestra played his symphonies, and now when this was passed to the orchestra, they played it, it was echoes of his father's anthem repeating itself. So this father's words, which the poet is calling as anthem, it haunted him. Whenever he made a new music, it haunted him. Again, as like a broken record. Broken record means non-stop. Broken record means non-stop. So it echoed repeating itself like a broken record. It was, and what were these words? Not good enough. So they played slowly. So they here refer to the musicians, the orchestra. Again, he heard as if that comment is coming, not good enough. So the orchestra played softly. Not good enough. So they played strongly. So this is, you can say, a rejuvenating effect of his father's comment. So they tried to mock the man. Now the musician tried to mock. Mock means to cheat him. Okay. To ridicule him, to cheat him, to make fun of madness. They thought that this man is mad. That repeatedly we are playing the correct tune, but he is saying that is wrong. By mimicking the movements, mimicking means just imitating the movements. Actually, they did not play. They copied the movement, holding their bows, the instrument we played with a stick, that is called bows. So what they did is a quarter of an inch. They did not touch. They did not put that bow on the instrument, but kept it quarter of an inch away above the string, not making a sound, and it did not make any sound. They only just pretended to play it, but there was no sound, and it was perfect. It was perfect. That means when they played, he said it was not good enough, but when they did not play, only they just they were pretending to, as if to touch the notes to play. At that time it was perfect. Now why he said it was perfect? He could not hear, but because he could not hear, that is the silence. He is accustomed to the silence because he is deaf, he is hard of hearing. That silence made him understand the note. You can say this is ironical, this line, because he could not hear. The deaf have an, you see, the deaf have an intimacy with silence, it is in their dreams. So like in dreams, many people hear people talking, many people hear something in dreams, but these deaf people, they are so accustomed, they are so attached with their silence. Even dreams, when they dream, they also hear nothing in their dreams. So silence is their language. Silence is what they hear. Silence is the medium through which this music came to him. That is the power he had. He could read silence. And the musician turned to one another, not knowing what to make of a man trying to calculate the distance. Trying to calculate the distance between madness and genius. Now the musicians were confused, They turned to one another. Why they turned to one another? They turned to one another because they were confused that what kind of person is this? When we played, he said not good enough. When we did not play, he is saying perfect, and that is really perfect. Knowing what to make of a man, what to call this man, what kind of person, what can we call Beethoven? Trying to calculate the distance between madness and genius, what to say to this man, whether to call him a mad or whether to call him a genius. Realizing that Beethoven's musical measurement, the strains, the tunes that he made, could take you to the distance reaching past the towers of Babylon. So his music had such a great effect. It can carry you to that height. It has been compared to the tower, past means above the tower of Babylon. So Babylon is the tower means it's a very big height. So it can take beyond that height. It has such a great touching effect. Turning solar system into cymbals that crash together. Cymbals is a type of musical instrument. So even the solar system is turned into whole solar system can be turned into a musical system that strikes together like a cymbal. Cymbal is a musical instrument that has, it looks like two plates, and if you strike together it creates a musical effect. So he can do that also, his music does that, causing comets to collide, and the comets collide with each other. His music, this is a bit exaggeration, hyperbole, but this has been described like this, to show, to bring out such a great effect of music, to show how great Beethoven's music. Collide, creating crescendos. Crescendos means the loudest point that was so loud they shook the constellation until the stars began to fall from the sky. So, and the music was not only touched, means the earth surface, but it also shook the constellations in the sky, and stars not only shook it shook the constellations, and the stars began to fall from the sky. Just to describe, as I told you, it is exaggeration, or you can call this figure of speech literary device that has been used by the poet in these few lines. It is because to show you the power and beauty of Beethoven's music. And it looked like the entire universe had begun to cry. The universe is having tears in its eyes. Distance must be an illusion. Distance between, it's an illusion, cannot be true. That whether the man must be a genius. So that illusion is madness or genius. Now they concluded this man has to be a genius. Beethoven, his thoughts moving at a speed of sound, transforming emotion into music. This is the power of Beethoven's music. This is the main, you can say, the theme of the poem, that the thoughts moving at speed of sound, that thought that he brought to his music, what his music did, what is that power, what is that beauty of the music. It is transforming emotion. You feel your own emotion into his music. When you listen to his music, as if it is touching or hitting that emotion that is going on in your mind. And for a moment it was like a joy was a tangible thing, and the happiness that it created, as if it is tangible. Tangible, you can touch it. Happiness is abstract thing that you cannot see or you can just feel. So it appears as if you can touch. Happiness is right in front of you, like you could touch it. Like for the first time we would watch love and hate dance together. It created an effect like love and hate. They are two opposite emotions again. So these emotions are brought together as if dancing together in a waltz. Waltz is a type of dance. Such precision, perfection. He could bring such perfection and beauty that we finally understood. What? History wasn't important. This history refers to his life history, to the life history of Beethoven. That life history of Beethoven, to know who is he, where was he born, how was he brought up, these things are not needed. What were his achievements? No. You don't need to know the life history of Beethoven. What? To know the man. To know the man, all we ever do was, what we have to do to know Beethoven? Just listen. Listen to his music and see the effect. That is all about Beethoven. That is transforming emotion into music. You just see the effect, the feel that his music has created, what he has done with his piano. The magic he created, the compositions were nothing but magic. And this is his genius. Being hard of hearing, he has created history. This is Beethoven. So what to know Beethoven is just listen to his music. So that's all. We have come to the end of the poem. Hope you have understood, and if you have liked this video, please Like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.